Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate you guys coming on and joining us when you can live. Always great to say hello to a few friends here as we get started. Let me see who's going to come up number one on the hit parade this morning. No surprise. 1 and 2, Brahim and Michael. 1 and 2. Okay, guys, thank you. And Andrea right up there at the top. Thank you for coming on. Fran, Orangeville, good morning. Tina, Nova Scotia, nice to have you on. Kevin, Oshawa. Sandy, good morning. And Nick from our staff, good morning to you. Serpa, how are you? Out in Dowling. Annette, Nouveau Brunswick. Donna, Park Hill. Cecilia, Shediac, Nouveau Brunswick. Grace, Foggy, Newfoundland. Nellie, good morning. And Helga, how are you? Babita, how are you? In Brampton. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. And Brahim saying hi to Kevin. Chaz, how are you? Maryland, Dave, Gilmore, Janine, West Kelowna. John, how are you? Margie, sunny Kansas. Deb from Timmins. And let me see here. Karen, Peterborough. And Nancy, Gore's Landing, good morning. And Brahim saying hi to everybody. Yvonne, Petawawa. Donna, good morning to you. And Brandon from, and for Darla, well, I didn't see that part. Patricia and Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Deb from Motown. Dorothy, PEI. You get bonjour. Marilyn, PEI. Nice to have you on. Judy, good morning to you. Francis from Vaughan. And Andrea, how are you? Maureen, Penticton, British Columbia. Verna, Utah, good morning. Shelley, Sherwood Park, Alberta. Elaine, good morning to you. Louise, how are you? And Elaine from St. John's, Newfoundland. Doug from Port Huron, Michigan. And Margaret. And Donna from Bell Valley. Couple of more, guys. Couple of more. And then we'll get going. Len and Judy, Edmonton, Alberta. Thank you for coming on. Rosalinda. Sue from Bolton. Okay, guys, just a little announcement. Because of Canada Post and I don't know if they've actually gone on strike or they're going on strike. I can't remember now. Somebody fill me in. But if you're concerned about your orders, okay, send an email to info@martinclinic.com, okay? info@martinclinic.com. Send that. Our staff is waiting to let you know where your order is, okay? So thank you for making that sale. So fantastic. We appreciate that. And it was the early, what did they call it? The early Black Friday sale. Okay. Anyway, if you're concerned about orders and postal disruption, send an email at info@martinclinic.com. Okay, so let's get to your questions. Question and answer Friday. Thank you for coming on. Let's go to the first one. This is from Margaret. In your opinion, could higher levels of vitamin D and B12 cause inflammation in the body? Nope. Okay? No. My husband mainly sticks to eggs, meat, and cheese with the odd dessert. And his CRP, which is his inflammation markers, are through the roof. His doctor suggested he stop taking both of these vitamins because that was causing inflammation. Well, I'd like to know the numbers. Okay? What are his vitamin D numbers? Why would the doctor say to do that unless he checked those numbers? Was his B12 high? Was his vitamin D high? If it was, that still doesn't cause inflammation. I'll give you an example. The other day I was talking to someone, probably 2 weeks ago, and suggested, because they had high inflammation and a lot of pain, I said, you know what I suggest you do? Take 50,000 units of vitamin D for 3 days. 50,000 a day for 3 days and see what happens to your inflammation. Boy, they were shocked how much better they felt. Now, guys, I can't tell you how much vitamin D to take. I can only make a suggestion based on what I know and what I take of vitamin D. It's the opposite of, for a doctor to say, stop taking vitamin D or B12. Well, usually if they would do that, it's because they got blood work in front of them. Like, you're not telling me that, Margaret, but maybe you already, you were trying to tell me that. I don't know. Okay? But it's the opposite. B12, because it lowers homocysteine, lowers inflammation. Vitamin D lowers inflammation. It's a natural antioxidant and natural anti-inflammatory. Why do you feel better when you get in the sun? When it comes to inflammation and pain. Yeah. Anywho, I need to know that part of it, Margaret. Was it because the numbers were high? Even if they were, that's not what causing inflammation. Thank you for the question. It allows me to pontificate on vitamin D. Thank you for that. Cecilia was asking about, we answered part of it last week. And he's got plaque. Okay? Her husband's got plaque in his arteries. Okay? So she's asking, if he eats eggs, meat, and cheese, does that help with the plaque? And can he get rid of it? Well, listen, you're doing everything you can. Here's me. If someone came to me and I had, a scan report or whatever, that they had, 50% blockages of their coronary arteries or their abdominal artery or whatever, I would have them on the reset because it's anti-inflammatory. It's because plaque is made up of usually of chronic inflammation in the blood vessels because of high insulin. That's one of the biggest factors is insulin resistance. And when you get insulin resistance over a period of time, you change the Teflon layer of your blood vessels. They get less slippery, thus plaque. It's one of the biggest effects. So yeah, lowering, to what extent you're going to lower that? Well, it depends. It depends on age. It depends on, I would have you on Navitol to increase the nitric oxide and high DHA to lubricate the blood vessels. Yeah, minimize all the plaque that you can. I've seen it where it's completely cleared up over the years. Not always, but I've seen it. Okay? I've seen it. Thank you, Cecilia, for the question. Ellen, I know Dr. Martin wants people to have high HDL cholesterol. You got that right. But is there a number that he thinks is high enough or too much? Well, it's a good question, Ellen. Well, Ellen, I never worried about high HDL. I want it to be high. I do. One thing, Ellen, that I do is I always compare it to your triglycerides. Okay, so it's the two numbers that I need. If you have high HDL, good for you. I don't look at it individually, HDL. I don't. I just want it to be minimum at the same level as your triglycerides, but I like it even higher and up to 2.5 times higher. If it's higher than 2.5 times higher than your triglycerides, okay. What's that going to do? Is that negative? Not at all. So it's a good question. I thank you for asking it, because I probably have answered that in the past, but okay. Thanks for that question. Okay, Louise, my blood pressure is low in the morning when waking. I can feel lightheaded, and what can I do for this? Don't get up. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing, Louise. Usually, if it's low in the morning like that and you're actually lightheaded, you got a little bit of what they call that, it's escaping my brain. Anyway, where people get up too fast and they feel like they're gonna pass out. And that's blood pressure, orthostatic blood pressure. Okay? Louise, you got a little bit of that. I mean, the way to fix it, and I'm not too worried about it, you need to get electrolytes first thing in the morning. You make sure you put electrolytes in your water and drink that before you do anything else. That'll help big time. Okay? And Louise, it's probably the way you're built. Okay? It's the way you're built. And you got real good blood pressure the rest of the day. Good for you. You've got an orthostatic, what they call an orthostatic condition. Okay. Thank you for that. That was Louise. Tracy. Can Dr. Martin comment on plasmalogens and omega-9? Well, those are what do we used to call those things? Squirts or mini omegas. Okay, and they're talking a lot about that stuff. Mussel extract and squid, and what else were they talking about? Phospholipids. I like them. We have a phospholipid in our inflammation formula. Okay, phospholipids. Do I like them? Yeah. They're talking about the benefits to the brain. Excellent. I like, personally, it's because I compare everything to, so that they're classified as omega-9s. I love omega, you know that. I love omega-3. And I'm really, really big on high DHA omega-3. Okay? So that's the king of the castle. That's the king of the castle. There's nothing like high DHA omega-3. Your brain's made up of it. So if you're looking for something cognitive, if you're looking for something to protect your brain, if you're looking for something what we call nootropics, okay, that help your brain and your memory and all that, high DHA. Well, I'll tell you, I do two things for brain, supplement-wise. You want to protect your brain supplement-wise? B12, vitamin D, high DHA, and Navitol. Guys, I invest in my brain every day. I put an investment in there. You can invest in the stock market. You can invest in whatever. Good for you. Cryptocurrency. I don't understand that stuff. Okay? But what I do understand is you better protect your brain. Protect that brain. And there's no better than high DHA, because your brain's actually made up of DHA fat. Did you know that? And you better eat eggs, meat, and cheese too, because your brain's made up of cholesterol. And I don't know who put the thumb up. I wouldn't even put in my thumb up. Okay? So thanks for asking the question. That was a good question. Okay? That was from Tracy. Kim, does anyone have any information, remedies, or experience with Heberden's nodes or Bouchard's nodes? You know what they are? Okay. I'm not giving you guys the finger. Okay. When you have arthritis here, okay, at the tips of your fingers, okay, at the end of your, right at the last joint here, okay, those are nodes that you can get. Osteoarthritis look, at the end of the day, what can you control? Food. Eat a lot of eggs, meat, and cheese. That will help. Okay? I love curcumin, inflammation, anti-inflammatory. Really helps the joint. We just talked about phospholipids. I like that. Green mussel extract. We use it in our inflammation formula. And that's what I highly recommend. And that was Kim. Okay, those are called, what did you call them? I haven't heard that one in a long time. Heberden's nodes are Bouchard. I remember Bouchard. Okay? I remember Bouchard nodes. But it's osteoarthritis. Look at people's hands. Okay? They would come in to the office and I look, and a lot of times they would get that like, with rheumatoid arthritis, but not, just some people had osteoarthritis. Their joints were deteriorating and they get these nodes on their fingers. Okay? And I would get aggressive. They usually had chronic inflammation. They did a lot better with eggs, meat, and cheese than they did with anything else. Okay, Cal. I have melasma. What is melasma? That's when you get brown spots, like brown pigmentation on your face. Okay, melasma. And, okay, what are you asking? We have all tried everything expensive creams. What do you suggest? Mine started when I was going through menopause. Yeah, Cal. Yeah, no fun. You got hormones. And you got melasma. I would use Rivera, but inside is where you really want to work. Okay? You really want to work. And I found over the years that, again, start with your diet, get off the crappy carbs and get off the sugars as much as you can, because that makes a difference in melasma. I never called it that. Well, I guess I did, but I don't like big words. I like, hey, you got brown spots, brown pigmentation in your face. Okay? And sometimes it's genetics. I've seen it run through families. Okay? But usually hormones, yeah, that can trigger that kind of stuff. And you want to dim out your estrogen too, by the way. Okay, dim it out. Flax seeds. Okay. Oh, let me answer this question on flax seeds because I saw it. Where did I see it? Anyway, they were asking about flax seeds if they were asking if flax seeds had, oh, here it is, Rita. Do flax seeds have oxalates? Nope. They're very low in oxalates. Flax seeds have lignans. And lignans, Lignans, ligands block extra estrogen. They don't block estrogen so that you don't have any. If you're a woman, you need some. Of course you want estrogen, but you don't want it to be higher than your progesterone. That is why I love flax seeds. You want to help to protect yourself against breast cancer? Dim out the estrogen. And even melasma. Too much estrogen, not enough progesterone. It's that teeter-totter. You got to have it balanced. Okay, thank you very much. Shirley, is the prebiotics in the immune boosting formula in your probiotics? Yeah, Shirley, they are. It's called FOS, fructooligosaccharides. Now listen to me, okay? Listen to me. I get a migraine a little bit when people put emphasis where they shouldn't put emphasis, okay? The best prebiotic in the world, which feeds your friendly bacteria. That's what a prebiotic is. It's like fertilizer. You know, you put fertilizer on your grass so that it grows. You know what fertilizer is for your probiotics, your friendly bacteria? Coffee, number one. Number two, you know what it is? Steak. Your friendly bacteria love steak, okay? Because they made up a whole, it's been going on for, I'm going to say 30 years. When it came to probiotics, some people even put prebiotics ahead of probiotics because they want to talk to you about cereal and fiber and vegetables and fruits and vegetables. And they want to put that at the top of the hit parade. I never bought it. I never bought that. The best prebiotic is coffee. It actually helps your friendly bacteria. I brought you those studies in the past. Plus steak. Okay? Your bacteria, your good guys, they love steak. And you know your good guys hate sugar. Okay? Why? Because it feeds the bears. Don't feed the bears. Okay, I even got my shirt on this morning. Okay. Thank you for the question. I much appreciate it. By the way, Shirley, you ain't getting better probiotics than what we have because of the strains that we pick and that they're soil-based. And that means they're going to get past when you have a high-quality probiotic, it's going to get past the acidity in your stomach. Okay? That's what you want. And they're hardy, meaning you can heat them up. It doesn't matter what you do when they're soil-based. You can't destroy the bacteria in there. Okay? That's really important when it comes, much more important than a prebiotic. Eat, drink coffee, and eat steak. Okay. Jolene, what can you do to cleanse your body from pain meds after surgery? Okay, that's a good question. Actually, we touched on it. Let me see here. Just going to look at my notes. What day did we do that? Glutathione, okay? We live in a toxic soup. So I did that. I think I did it this week. And might have been last week, okay? So guys, don't hold me to that. I can't remember what I did this week. I do so many shows, I don't know when I did it. But here's what I talked about glutathione. Your body makes glutathione. What is glutathione? Glutathione is Velcro, okay? Your liver makes it. When does your liver make glutathione? Well, every day. But when does your liver have trouble making glutathione? Velcro to attach to toxins. So in the case of Jolene, you're wanting, you had surgery, you had to take pain meds. What if you had to take antibiotics and you want to detox your body? Very good move. Couple of things you do. One, empty your liver. So for even a week, go on eggs, meat, and cheese, no high fructose corn syrup whatsoever, low, very, very, very low carbohydrate or no carbohydrate, just for a week. You will detox like nobody's business, okay? Drink water. 2 liters of water a day. For my American friends, 64 ounces of water every day. Clean it out, okay? Allow your body to make glutathione. If your body makes glutathione, it will detox itself. And here's another one that I always liked when it came to detoxing the liver. You know what it is? Curcumin. Curcumin is a real good detoxer of the liver. But there's nothing like emptying your liver. Empty it. And your liver will empty itself if you lay off the fructose especially. Lay off of it. And your body will detox, okay? And there's certain probiotics, okay, bacterial strains that really, really help in detoxing the body. They have an effect not only on the gut, but on the liver too. Okay? L-rhamnosus, L-reuteri, for example, tremendous products for that. Okay, thank you very, very much for the question, Jolene. Okay, and how about this one? Joan from Denmark. Okay? Love listening to you. Well, I thank you, Joan from Denmark. Okay? I have low triglycerides and a good HDL ratio. I have elevated lipoprotein. What are your thoughts? I'm glad you asked. Okay. Joan from Denmark, can I give you a high five? Okay. I just gave you one. I gave you a high five. Why? Because you have low triglycerides and high HDL, exactly what you need. And Joan from Denmark, I don't care what your lipoproteins are. Here's my thoughts on it. I'm very opinionated, if you didn't know that. I've told this audience for a long time, the pharmaceutical industry will do anything to protect their cash cows like statin drugs. So when LDL sort of got debunked, oh, you got high LDL cholesterol. Well, when you look at the research, really, who cares? It's better to have high LDL. So you know what they did? Oh, yeah, but you can get even better testing than that to keep you on a statin drug, and that is your proteins, your lipoproteins. And to me, they twist themselves into pretzels to keep people on statin drugs. Okay? So, you got good triglycerides, they're low, and you've got good HDL, they're high. You get the thumbs up from me, big time, because that's the key. That's the key. Anything else, it's to confuse people. I'm telling you, I saw this coming years ago. And anything to keep you on statin drugs. Joan from Denmark, much appreciated. And let me see, a couple of more. Mona, I take a lot of vitamins. You're smart, Mona. And you mean supplements too, right? So a lot of vitamins and supplements. Me too. Okay. Was wondering if they accumulate and what is the effect on the digestive system? Well, digestive system, there's no effect on that. Accumulate, look, vitamin D, you want it to accumulate. You want it to accumulate. It's a fat soluble vitamin. You want it to accumulate. Okay? And remember on vitamin D, one of the biggest problems on vitamin D is the math. It was bad math to start off with. Okay? Well, you only need, I remember in the 1970s when I was in school, they recommended 200 international units of vitamin D. You know how much that is for? Well, even a mouse wouldn't survive with 200 IUs of vitamin D. Okay? It was bad math. It was bad math. And here's when possibly you could get toxic from vitamin D. Vitamin D toxicity, okay? What will that do? Oh, you could get a kidney stone, okay? But here's what you'd have to do. 6 months, 7 days a week of 50,000 international units a day. Who the heck does that? I don't do it. Do you do it? Nobody does it. So what are you worried about? No, like, look, I mean, like I take a bushel full of supplements. I call it an investment, guys. Okay? And we live in a world, look, I eat well. I'm an egg, meat, and cheese eater. And, but I take probiotics every day. I take high DHA. If you saw the research, well, I try and bring it to you. You see the research that I put out. There's a reason to supplement. And I'm a big believer in it. Big believer in it. Look, you could accumulate them. But, here's a statement that I've made for years. The waiting rooms in the emergency rooms are not filled with people. I know why you're here. You're taking too much vitamin D. I know why you're here. You're taking too much vitamin A. I know why you're here. No, you don't, because that's not happening. Imagine in the USA, listen to this. In 2021, I think it's the last year we have, maybe we have statistics for 2022, but I haven't seen them yet. Do you know that not one person in what's the population of the USA? 340 million, I think. Not one person died of an overdose of vitamins. Not one. Not one. I mean, there was actual people in the United States in 2021 that died because they drank too much water. Let's stop drinking water because one person died from drinking too much of it. Are you kidding me? But you see how they cook up. They cook up. I hope, this is political, so I'm just going to get into it for a second. Okay? I hope Robert F. Kennedy Jr. puts an end to that nonsense in the FDA, okay? Where, they worry more about vitamins and supplements than they worry about the side effects of medication. I can't get over that. That's my only political statement I'm making. Okay. Guys, let's stop it there. We got to do question and answer Monday. It looks like. Let me just see. Let me see how many more I got. Well, let me see here. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, look, we got to do question and answer Monday. Okay, got too many questions to answer. And guys, we thank you so much. Remember about your orders again, okay? Just remember this. If you have any questions, just because of what's going on in Canada and the postal situation, send your question about your order to info@martinclinic.com, and we'll find out what's happening for you, okay, and your orders. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Love you guys more than you know. And we thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.